article here that you sent me. I'm going to read the quotes from Tristan, and then we'll react to them. So now, granted, the backstory here, folks, is that all throughout the summer, we've been hearing these reports that a lot of people think that Faizon is essentially a lock to be QB1, right, Austin? That, a lot of reporters and a lot of people close to the program are saying, hey, we think Faison is going to be the starter because he looks the part. You yourself have been, talking about how he looks like he's got the size. He's put on all this muscle. He looks like he is ready to be a starter in the SEC despite being a true freshman. Well, one of his hopefully star receiver, a 5-star receiver in TK Keys seems to agree, Austin. This is what Keys said. Faison is phenomenal. I mean, he got so big, so much faster. He moves like a train. At that size, it's crazy. He's been ripping the ball. He's been hitting the road, running, doing his thing. He goes on to say, I mean, he always had a great spin, but I feel like the other day, I caught the ball without any gloves on, bunch of balls from him in the warm up, and like you can hear the ball sizzling. And then he says, it's kind of crazy how he does it. He's great at what he does. Man, sizzling football, Austin. That's what you like to hear about your quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, he sounds like what people say about Joe Milton in practice. And I don't know if that will end up being a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, dude, it's very clear that he has the tools. Very obvious right off the rip why he was given the 5-star rating that he was given. And I do think it's notable how much bigger he gets or that he's gotten. TK said it. I'll say it too. From what I saw in spring to now, he's already filling out his frame. Again, the Derek Owens effect, that's kind of been one of the themes of the offseason, Blake, what Derek Owens is doing for
Right.
some of our players. But dude, yeah, Faison to me, he does look the part, man. Fundamentally, he's got a really good throwing motion and mechanics. He's extremely athletic, and if you just compare him to his counterpart, the guy who he's supposed to be competing with in McIntyre, I haven't seen the development, especially from his body, dude. We got all these stats recently about all the guys that have gained their muscle mass and whatnot. And I told you the other day, McIntyre was nowhere to be found on that list, dude, which is discouraging from his standpoint. But dude, listen, there's a lot of risk in starting a true freshman quarterback. I get that. But man, everything I've seen from Faison, like if there is going to be a guy, which it does happen rarely in college football, but if there's going to be a guy that can come in and make an impact immediately as a true freshman and play well, not just for a freshman, I think, man, from what I'm seeing, I think it could be Faison, man.
Yeah, like you said, it looks like he's ready. He's looking ready to be a starter in the SEC despite being a true freshman, which we need. I mean, because as you pointed out, GMAC does not seem to be living up to his potential, or at least, he doesn't seem to be as ready despite having more time in the program. And it seems like it came down to, Austin, what you just said about GMAC not being on that list of guys who've put on all this muscle. And our viewers, a lot of people probably in the chat right now, they've been talking about that. They've been talking about how GMAC can't seem to put on weight. He can't seem to put on this muscle that he needs to have to be an SEC quarterback. And so where does that leave you? Well, it leaves you with your true freshman in Faizon Brandon. And it is scary because a true freshman starting the SEC is no small task. It's a Herculean task, honestly, Austin. But what we're seeing, the signs that we're seeing so far are encouraging. One thing that's encouraging to me, brother, in an intangible situation is something you said to me the other day. You said that you looked on Instagram and Faizon Brandon hasn't been posting on social media. He had
Yeah.
one post from 6 months ago, and it was what, a workout or something like that,
Yeah.
right, Austin? So
Football related.
that's what you want to see out of your quarterback, not on
Dude.
freaking social media. You
And
want them locked in.
I gotta give credit to someone on Twitter, and dude, they could have completely lied. I actually didn't verify it, But yeah, dude, what you're talking about, this guy basically went to Faizon's Instagram, compared his last post to McIntyre's. Well, Faizon hasn't posted in months, and his last post was a football related post, whereas GMAC posted 2 weeks ago with his girlfriend. Which, listen, GMAC's a good kid, man. I have nothing bad to say about GMAC at all. It's not like this is a
Yes.
Chaz Coleman situation. He's flaunting his money on
Right.
Instagram. But that does seem telling. You don't see girls on Faizon's. Like, Faizon seems locked in, man. He seems locked in. He seems locked in ever since he's gotten here. Another intangible, Blake, that I've been talking about is all the things he's done off the field. Which again, I'll say it one more time for new listeners or whatever. The quarterback position is held to a different standard. Like, you have to be a different level of leader. It's basically you and the head coach. And that's a tough ask for a true freshman to come in and be a leader immediately. But dude, I mean, kind of going back to what Heupel said at media days, he essentially told the world he's not scared to start a freshman. He's not scared to start a true freshman.
Yep.
And if he's the best quarterback on the roster, that's what they're going to do. And we also have the evidence that they tend to lean towards the guy with the tools, right? Like, they did that with Joe Milton and Hendon Hooker. Now, we saw a different result on the field, but it makes sense to do that, especially when a guy's young, because you can mold him around those tools and you can coach him up. And so, yeah, man, like, it's all really encouraging. Now, again, like, to what you said earlier, starting as a true freshman in the SEC, it's an insanely hard task. Like,
Yep.
is the last, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, last quarterback at Tennessee to do that was Peyton after all the injuries that led him to playing as a true freshman. I think somebody
I
will have
think
to correct
so.
me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong on that. Maybe Brian Maurer maybe did it, but he sucked. Like, it's a really, really tough thing to do, especially in this conference. We know that, especially in the environments that he's going to have to, like, he's just, right now, we can only judge him on what we're seeing, right? Like, he's checked every box to me so far. And so then we're going to have to see him in the games and see how that goes, obviously. But I will say this, Blake, another thing. For one, I put this in the title: is the QB1 battle over? We both think it is. Like, I do think it's over. I think Faizon will be the guy. Um, Honestly, dude, if you're going to go with Faizon, because we know Faizon's the future of this program, Blake, what I believe should happen is you play him no matter what. You play him through the bumps and the bruises. Just take this as like a rookie quarterback in the NFL. Like Peyton Manning did this as a rookie in the NFL, Blake. He played through the rough parts. I think that's how they
Right.
should handle Faizon, dude. I think they should play him through the rough patches, because Faizon's the future, man. And I think we got to invest in that future.
Yeah, I think you make a fantastic point there, which it comes down to this idea that, okay, if he is the future, then okay, he might be making some mistakes. He might, throw a few picks here and there. He might, honestly, Austin, he could even potentially maybe cost us a game somewhere along the road,
Yep.
but it's different than Nico, who was year two, who was, highly touted, and then who is consistently, well, granted, we haven't seen Faizon play yet, right? Who knows what would happen? But assuming that he, makes the occasional mistake here and there, compared to Nico, who clearly couldn't run the offense, clearly couldn't handle the pressure, was making mistakes frequently being the one to cost us the game, or games, I should say, right? And so, it's kind of like with Joey Aguilar, Austin. We said, hey, he might throw some picks here and there, and he did,
And he did.
right?
Yep.
But he also was the reason we won several games. He was the reason
Yeah.
we were in a position to win against Georgia,
Mhm.
if we had a competent field goal kicker.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, look, if it is an investment in the future, then I'll take Faizon making some mistakes along the
Yeah.
way. And like you said, play him through those bumps. I mean, Heupel said himself, Heupel's like, man, I wish I could get a seasoned quarterback, for the first time in a long time.
That's also
And
notable, man.
he'll have it by next year if he plays Faizon through the bumps in the road.